Hello everyone, and welcome back to FullGrownGaming's Let's Play of Kingdom Hearts. I'm not even gonna bother with any Heartless that might spawn in my way right now, because I am pretty much back in Traverse Town strictly for business at this point. And if you guys remember in the last episode, I believe Leon, or, Squall if you prefer, told us that we need to get back to Hollow Bastion to lock that keyhole, but that we couldn't because it was like surrounded by too many Heartless or something like that. So let's see if we can't talk to Sid and maybe get that problem fixed up. Sid, I need to go back to Hollow Bastion. I don't think I can let you do that, kid. The Heartless are multiplying by the minute. They'd eat your ship up. Then what can we do? Simple, go around them instead of through. Install a new navigation gummy and take a new route. A new gummy? From where? The secret waterway. When I came here 9 years ago, I stored it there in case I ever needed it. Never thought a kid would be the one to use it. And I just remembered, or it just dawned on me, not remembered exactly, how did Sid get into the secret waterway? Because, if you guys remember, the secret waterway, which I think is what is actually called, when you're about to go in the room or whatever, like at the bottom where it gives you a, text, whatever the room is called, I think it actually is called the secret waterway, and we've been there before. But we needed a red trinity to get in there, and somehow Sid was able to get in there clearly without using a trinity, so I'm actually kind of curious as to how Sid actually got in here. Maybe he went through, Merlin's house. It was probably not Merlin's house way back then, but if we fly all the way down here, we could have talked to Kairi, by the way, and Kairi would tell us about this place down here, but somehow over here in the sun is, that navigation gummy that Sid was talking about. And there we get the navigation gummy, so that is actually not that hard to get this time. It's not like we have to find, two halves of the navigation gummy or anything. But now we actually do need to come back and talk to Kairi. Let's go back and join the others. We should rest up.
A light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, your grandma's story, right?
That's right. We were together.
You know what's funny? I looked everywhere for you, but you were with me all along. Finally, we're together, Kairi. Now, it's time to get Riku back.
You think it'll ever be the same again between us? Riku's lost his...
When I turned into a Heartless, you saved me, remember? I was lost in the darkness. I couldn't find my way. As I stumbled through the dark, I started forgetting things. My friends, who I was. The darkness almost swallowed me. But then I heard a voice. Your voice. You brought me back.
I didn't want to just forget about you, Sora. I couldn't.
That's it. Our hearts are connected. And the light from our hearts broke through the darkness. I saw that light. I think that's what saved me. No matter how deep the darkness, a light shines within. I guess it's more than just a fairy tale.
Well, let's go.
You can't go.
Why not?
Because it's way too dangerous.
Come on, Sora. We made it this far by sticking together. You can't go alone.
Kairi, even if we're apart, we're not alone anymore, right?
I can't help?
You'd kind of be in my way.
Okay. You win. Take this. It's my lucky charm. Be sure to bring it back to me.
Don't worry, I will.
Promise?
Promise.
Don't ever forget. Wherever you go, I'm always with you.
And that lucky charm Kairi just gave us is actually an Oathkeeper keychain. I don't know how in the world she got that, but it is actually a pretty good keychain if I remember correctly. I mean, it raises our max MP by 1, so it has that over the Olympia. and I guess it raises magic and summon power, and it's capable of, you know, critical blows, but I kind of like the Olympia more. And even so, we're going to be getting like 4, maybe 3, 4 more Keyblades by the end of this episode that are probably better than either one of these. So the Oathkeeper's not really one that I ever really used all that often. But back over here, there is actually our first White Trinity, I believe. And in it we get a ritual come. I've never been able to say that. I don't know what in the world is wrong with me with that, you know, pronunciation of that particular word. But if we come back up here into the Magician's Study, you know, obviously Merlin's house, we've been here before, we can give the Fire Glow summon gem that we got from the Maleficent dragon fight, I believe, to the Fairy Godmother. And it is a good thing I remembered that her name was the Fairy Godmother, unlike last episode where I actually forgot. Oh, another summon gem. Let's help this little one. Here we go. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. And we get Mushu, and that rhymed, and that was awesome. Thank you, Sora. Here's something for you. And we get Lord Fortune. Technically, it wasn't for Sora. It was more for Donald. But there's a couple of things about that. Lord Fortune is you get for getting all of the summon gems in the entire game and giving them to the Fairy Godmother. But also, I believe it was either in the last episode or the episode before that, I got the Wizard's Relic, which is yet another, it's like a really rare drop you get from those Wizard Heartless. So I forgot, I didn't even notice I got that, but apparently I did. And that's, like I said, a really rare drop, so it's lucky that I won't have to be looking for that later on. But I'm actually going to go, actually I might just go ahead and go with the Wizard's Relic. As you can see, it raises max MP by 2, and I think that's a pretty fair price to pay for having lower MP or, you know, lower magic power, technically. But I'm going to go ahead and get us back to Sid, and hopefully he'll be able to help us do something with this navigation gummy. You found it! Alright, I'll go fix up your ship. Are we going to get another weirdly placed cutscene here? Apparently not. That would have been kind of cool, though. I'll say, you can get going anytime. Kid, I gotta say, I wish you didn't have to face all this danger. Well, thank you for saying so, Sid. You know, that Sid seems to be a little bit nicer than the Sid from Final Fantasy VII. I don't know if that's just me or if anybody else thinks that way, but obviously he can tell that we are kind of in over our heads. Nobody probably really expected Sora, of all people, you know, to be going on this weird quest like this. But apparently Chip and Dale have something to say. There's a new warp hole near Traverse Town. I can see that, actually. I wonder where it leads. Some weird powers emanating from the worlds. Might be worth revisiting some places again. So, I think Goofy, you know, served this role a while back. And why is this text not going away? There we go. I need to go back to pretty much every world to get the White Trinity that might be in there. Obviously, that is not necessary. Like, I don't need to show every single, you know, trip there. So I'll show you where all the White Trinities are, and I will get all the treasure, and then we can actually progress in the game without, you know, wasting too much time with the, you know, formalities of actually getting to these White Trinities. So the first world I'm going to go to is actually Wonderland. And here in this kind of secret area of the Lotus Forest, you guys might remember there was a White Trinity back here. And this White Trinity was one that I actually never got as a kid, and it's kind of unfortunate that I didn't, because in here there is actually a Keyblade called Lady Luck. Let's go ahead and examine its abilities, or stats, I guess. It might even be better than what we have. Yeah, apparently not, but it does raise max MP by 2. Not really that great. Like, I would prefer something that you have to come way back here for to be really, really good. But, you know, I guess it's better than nothing. And I always thought that Lady Luck was only in Final Mix, but apparently it is in the base game too. So the next world I'm going to go to is Deep Jungle. I will see you guys there. And back here in the Deep Jungle, guys, back where we locked the Keyhole, there is actually yet another White Trinity. I don't remember this one being as good as the one in Wonderland, though. And we get an original come, so not that great, I guess, but, you know, pretty good, actually, if you consider the fact that pretty soon we're going to be needing to synthesize a lot of things that might require those. So I will meet you guys in, I guess, the Olympus Coliseum for yet another White Trinity. The White Trinity in the Olympus Coliseum is actually one that we've run by probably 30 times, Luckily, it's out here in the middle of nowhere, or not out in the middle of nowhere, out here in the middle of everything, actually, so it's not even that hard to find. And we get Donald's Violetta, whatever you want to say. I actually do kind of remember that being better than the one, yep, look, it's way better than what we have equipped. The only thing is, it reduces max MP by 1, so either you get a couple of really strong attacks, or more, you know, weaker attacks. I guess I'll just go with the Violetta for now, just for fun, I don't know. And I will meet you guys in Agrabah, where we will be getting, what, I guess our 5th White Trinity. And here we are, guys. I just got done fighting. That's why I'm glowing green, you know, picking up HP balls. But here we are in the entrance to the Cave of Wonders in Agrabah, and we've actually seen this White Trinity as well. And in this White Trinity, we get a Comet G. That's kind of a letdown, I guess, you know, considering we will be getting every gummy ship piece pretty soon. But I will meet you guys in Atlantica for our 6th White Trinity. Alright guys, Atlantica, here we are, and I said we would never come back here, but apparently we have to, because here is yet another White Trinity, and I don't remember the treasure we get from this being all that great either. Wow, actually, apparently I was wrong, yet another Ritualcum, so I can't really argue with those. But the next area we need to go to, guys, is Monstro, and a lot of people, I don't think, know that you can actually go back to Monstro, and the way you can do that, there are a couple of ways that I do it personally. You can, if I can get on the thing there we go, but on the world map, you can actually fly in between Atlantica or, you know, Agrabah, and sometimes I've actually seen him between this warp hole and Halloween Town, so wherever he is, I guess you can just fly between them, unless that was maybe a glitch or something like that. Or you can try and warp drive to Monstro. If you do that, you'll get that cutscene with Goofy being like, oh, you know, Monstro's not here, or Monstro will eat you. So if you get the one where he eats you, obviously that's what you want. And there we go, so first try, we actually get Monstro to eat us. So I will meet you guys in Chamber 6, where we will be getting our next White Trinity. Man, that took a surprising amount of time to take out the, you know, enemies that spawned in this room. They were really trying to guard this White Trinity. And yet another weird thing that I just realized is that the, like, most prominent enemy in this room was that monkey, the Power Wilds from, you know, the Deep Jungle. So that's kind of weird that there are monkeys in Monstro, and also kind of weird that we only got a Thundaga G out of that. So, unfortunately, we got yet another gummy ship piece, but I will be meeting you guys in Halloween Town for our 8th, I believe, White Trinity. And here we are at Halloween Town's White Trinity, and they really want to guard these things. It seems like these White Trinity zones, if you will, have more enemies than pretty much any other area in these levels. But in this box, we get a Comet. Come on. Oh, well, I guess it's better than, you know, a Mega Potion or something like that. But I want to meet you guys back in Neverland for our 9th White Trinity. Now, fortunately for this one, all I had to do was fight some blue mushrooms, so that took all of about 5 seconds. And in this, you know, treasure chest, hopefully we will be getting something pretty good instead of some gummy ship pieces. I should have known better. Apparently a Meteor G, which we're probably going to have a really good gummy ship, you know, whenever I get around to making a really good one. But I want to meet you guys in Traverse Town, actually, because that is where we were going to be making our, you know, staging our attack on Hollow Bastion, I guess. And here we are in Hollow Bastion. Now, as I believe Chip and Dale told us a little while ago, there is another warp hole that just opened up here, and we have to fly into this one to actually get into Hollow Bastion. The funny thing is, as soon as we go into the warp hole, it's like a... Actually, it's kind of cool, because after we go in the warp hole, it's a completely new gummy ship lane. I think I used to call them lanes. It's actually been a while since I've talked about gummy ships at all. But as soon as we go through the warp hole, there's going to be a kind of a new lane. And then it just becomes the same one that we saw before. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. And here we are back at Hollow Bastion. It only took not even an episode to get back here. So that's pretty cool that they didn't make you wait forever to get back to, you know, the world that you just left. Where's Belle? Still in the castle. Against her will? No, I think she stayed for a reason. The other princesses are inside as well. I wonder why. Let's go ask them. You may need my strength. I'll go with you. Sorry, Beast. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the classic Donald and Goofy combination, because up there, I think we might have seen the White Trinity before, like the first time we came here. There is a White Trinity up here, and that will be the final White Trinity. And not only the final White Trinity, but the final Trinity, I believe, in the entire game. I'll definitely be checking out the journal as soon as I, pick this White Trinity up. Hopefully, since this is the last White Trinity, we can get something other than a gummy ship piece. I will even take an original gummy. Or a Fire Rocket G, maybe another gummy ship piece will go well with my collection. But back here, guys, this bubble was not here the first time we were here, and you probably did not notice that. But if we jump in here, we will be able to go under the water just like any other bubble would allow us to do. And there is a treasure chest down there. I believe there is a stat up in here, like a AP up maybe, or a defense up, so I guess that's pretty good too, because we are going to be having a boss fight coming up in this episode, hopefully. I mean, this is already a pretty long recording, but I have no idea how long the episode is up to this point. I'm going to go ahead and guess around 15 minutes. But yeah, the boss fight we have to do in this episode is actually pretty tough, I think, because it's actually an enemy unlike any that we've ever seen before. And you would probably guess that it would be a hard boss fight, you know, seeing how it is locking the, king of all keyholes in the world. But the place that we need to go now is actually the library, guys, so I will meet you there. And here we are in the library. Now, over the weekend, I played, or not, it is Saturday as I'm recording this, so technically it's still the weekend. I played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts Recoded on the DS, and the library does not look anything like it does in this game, so I thought I'd just point that out really quick, but I believe we're going to be getting a cutscene here.
Oh, Belle.
Well, that was a really short cutscene, but you come to seal the keyhole, right? Please, be careful. The darkness is raging deep inside. We've been holding it back, but we can't hold out much longer. It doesn't look like she's doing much of anything, really. We'll take care of it. I thought we might be getting a little bit better of a cutscene. That was like 2 lines, but I guess it's better than nothing. If we talk to Belle, though, we get the Divine Rose, which, in my opinion, is actually the best Keyblade in the entire game other than, Ultimate Weapon. So it's actually pretty good to equip that as soon as you get it, I think. If anybody else has any other opinions, I'd be glad to hear them, with an explanation maybe. Because as far as I can tell, this Keyblade kind of hits through enemies. Let's see if it'll work here. Well, apparently my theory is wrong, but it seems like when an enemy and you clash, to me it seems like you almost always come out on top. And also, it is probably the strongest Keyblade we have up until now. So now that we've done all of this, I want to get back to the area where we fought Maleficent for the first time. Actually, it might just be through that door right there, if I remember. No, actually, it's going to be up a whole bunch of lift stops, I remember. So I will just meet you guys up there. And we've made it to the area I was talking about, and here are all of the Disney princesses that we have seen since the beginning of the game, pretty much. There are a couple missing, I think, such as Belle. And one thing I never noticed is look how short, whatever her name, her name's Wendy, right? I cannot believe I don't remember for sure what her name is. But another thing that I just remembered that I forgot was to look at the Trinity list. 17, 6, 9, 4, and 10, we are done with all of the Trinities in the entire game. And we could talk to these people right now, but I don't think it's really all that necessary, because, they don't really tell you anything that important. I should probably go ahead and heal a Goofy all the way up. There we go. Now, in the lift stop, we are going to... This is pretty much the last lift stop that we will have to go to, I believe. Actually, we don't even have to go up a flight. I think we can just come over here into the Grand Hall, And the Grand Hall is where a lot of things are about to happen, because there is another Keyblade in here, and the final set of Dalmatians. So let me go ahead and take care of all of the enemies that are going to be in here. So I guess no more enemies are going to spawn, luckily enough for us, and in this box we get a Flare G, you know, another gummy ship piece to aid our, you know, search for gummy ship pieces that we don't need, but it looks like more enemies actually are going to spawn, so guess what, I need to take care of all of them, unless he happens to be the only one, and apparently he was. Now all the way back up here, behind everything on a high shelf, if you will, there is a treasure chest up here with Oblivion in it. As a kid, I always thought Oblivion was the best Keyblade, because if you look at it, it looks amazing. It has the, colossal power, as it says, but it, reduces your max MP by 1, whereas Divine Rose does not do that. So it's really a toss-up between Oblivion and Divine Rose for me, but I kind of do like Divine Rose better. I don't really know. It's really, like I said, a toss-up. So whichever one you like better, I just say go with it, and you'll probably be fine. But over here is a treasure chest again with Dalmatians. So let's go ahead and look at the journal again, shall we? Alright, 101 Dalmatians. We have all of the Dalmatians in the entire game. So in 2 episodes, or the span of 2 or 3 episodes, we got the green trinities, we got the white, red, blue, we got the yellows. Actually, we got the yellows a long time ago, and we got all of the Dalmatians. And pretty much all the Keyblades except for the ultimate weapon, as far as I remember. But guys, as soon as we go in here into the dark depths, it looks ominous enough, doesn't it? We are going to be getting probably a cutscene and definitely a boss fight. So it's not too much of a cutscene, but like I said, there is definitely a boss fight. And what I like to do is just get right up on the, his hindquarters there and just start attacking his horn. And I did try, by the way, when I was fighting Maleficent, I realized it was pretty hard. And then a commenter, somebody in the comments, posted a video to where somebody would just use stop on Maleficent, the dragon, over and over and over and over, and she could never attack. I tried that, earlier on this boss, and it does not appear to work like that, and I'm honestly surprised that they allowed you to just use stop on Maleficent like that over and over and over again, because to me, I'm not one to say things are cheap that often, and really it doesn't matter when you're playing a single-player game, but if I was a game developer, I probably would not want the players playing my game to defeat the strongest enemies in the game like that. So that is, but also on the other hand, Tinkerbell and Arrow is just equally as, useful. So really, I guess it's not that big of a deal. But, long story short, it does not work here. Now, the Behemoth, actually, I should probably have introduced him. This Heartless's name is the Behemoth. And I always thought he was kind of anticlimactic. I mean, he's big and all, and the area we're in looks really cool. But I think as far as, his looks, he doesn't look like he would be the final boss of one of the most plot-driven storylines in the entire game. So, in that regard, I was kind of disappointed when I saw him, and he's really not all that hard. I think I've been hit maybe 4 or 5 times already to this point, and he hardly ever does that thing where he goes, invincible like a lot of other bosses seem to do. So you can pretty much just wail on him as hard as you want, and he will go down pretty quickly, just like that. And we learned Berserk, which is actually kind of cool, and I'll probably show you guys what that is in the next episode. And we get Omega Arts, by the way.
Now let's go and seal that big keyhole.
Sora, you did it.
What are you guys doing here? That is exactly what I thought the first time I played the game. We came in Sid's ship. I didn't even know he had one. This is our childhood home. We wanted to see it again. It's in worse shape than I feared. It used to be so peaceful. Don't worry. If we defeat Ansem, all should be restored. including your island. Really? But it also means goodbye. Once the worlds are restored, they'll all be separate again. Everyone will go back to where they came from. Then I'll visit you guys with the gummy ship. It's not that simple. Before all this, you didn't know about the other worlds, right? Because every world was isolated, impassable walls divided them. The Heartless destroyed those walls, but if the worlds return, so will the walls. Which means gummy ships will be useless. So you're saying we'll never...
We may never meet again, but we'll never forget each other.
No matter where we are, our hearts will bring us together again.
Besides, I couldn't forget you even if I wanted to.
What's that supposed to mean?
Hurry! Come and close the keyhole!
Sora, good luck.
Thank you, Sora. I think the darkness has begun to weaken. But I can feel a powerful darkness growing somewhere far away. It's the heart of the darkness. It must be where Ansem went. Then we'll take the gummy ship and deal with both Ansem and the Heartless. A worthy answer, Keyblade Master. We offer this power to aid your battle. And we get Firaga finally. Sora, your courage can bring back our worlds. Once the darkness is gone, all should return to its original state. Kairi will be back on the island? Most certainly, and you should be too. I can't go home till I find Riku and the king. So apparently that's going to be our objective from now on. Now this has been a long episode, and usually I end things after boss fights, but there is one more thing that I want to get before, I end the episode. And there's a couple of things. By the way, I'm going to the library. There's something hidden in there. But that cutscene where Leon was like... Actually, no, it was either Aerith or Yuffie that said, basically our hearts will keep us together again even though we're separated, or something like that. And that reminds me of the Lost finale. If anybody has seen the Lost finale, or the Lost series, you might be able to make that, connection, maybe not, but that's what it always reminded me of. And also, I wonder where, like, Yuffie goes, and Aerith, for that matter. And also, how come Aerith and Yuffie don't really act like they, recognize each other? Because they definitely should. But I'm gonna go ahead, actually, and speed this up until I get back to... Unless I can just fall off here. I'm not sure where falling off right here is gonna put me. Yeah, all the way back here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and meet you guys back at the library. And here we are back in the library for what seems like the, millionth time in this episode, but it's probably only, the second now that I think about it. But here is Aerith looking at a couple of books here. Sora, you should read this. Read what? It's the rest of Ansem's report. Maleficent must have collected it. And we get Ansem's report 2, 4, 6, and 10. So we get, what was that? I think 4 or 5. I'm not entirely sure, I didn't actually count them. But if we talk to her again, Ansem disappeared when this world fell into the darkness. It was believed he died defending people from the Heartless, but Ansem was the one who brought them here. Nothing doing there, but if we talk to her yet again, Ansem waits in darkness, but here's a little light to protect you, Sora. And we get Curaga. So I don't know why in the world they decided to hide that so masterfully. You have to come all the way back to the library and talk to Aerith 3 times to get, you know, Kiraga. But luckily, we have Firaga and Kiraga. We got both of those in one episode. I'm not sure what Leon has to say. This was once Ansem's castle. He was widely respected as a wise man. But darkness took him. He began experimenting with people's hearts. Heh, some wise man. So much suffering and ruin, and for what? Apparently nothing. Maybe we'll learn a little bit more about his experiments later. But guys, this has been somewhat of another marathon session, but we did get so much done in this episode. We are really, really close to the end of the game. So I want to thank you guys for watching episode 33, I believe, of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts, and I can't wait to see you guys back for the next episode.